The patterns you're seeing are being traced out by a laser beam that's being reflected off of a small mirror. That mirror is glued to a balloon that is stretched over a speaker that I won at a bowling alley. As I play notes on my synthesizer, the sound waves cause the balloon to vibrate, causing two-dimensional standing waves. The mirror's angle is constantly shifted by these waves, causing the reflected beam to trace out these hypnotic shapes. Changing the pitch of the note can alter the shape of the laser pattern. Here I have two notes playing the exact same pitch, while one rises up through different frequencies. You can see and hear the two notes begin to go out of phase. The shape loses stability and begins to pulsate. These pulses increase until a stable interval is found at the fourth, fifth, or octave. In between these islands of stability, the patterns can be extremely chaotic. I got this idea from Steve Mould's YouTube channel, where he put a Bluetooth speaker in a bowl with a balloon stretched over it and swept through different frequencies. I've always been really fascinated by cymatics and figured this would be very easy to replicate, so I gave it a try and was very surprised at how prominent and complex the shapes were. I spent a lot of time playing around with different sound waves, and at one point was able to generate Lizzio patterns consistently, but unfortunately I can't replicate the conditions. You can also use this configuration to see how your guitar notes look. And here's what my voice looks like being played through the exact same setup. Hello. Now, after I began playing around with this, I decided to film the patterns and import the video into my editing software, where I added mirroring effects to the laser patterns, and this created vertical and horizontal symmetry to the shape. It created some really fascinating movement. I decided this was way too cool not to use, so I decided to make a music video for a song I had written. I played the song through and muted everything except the kick drum, and then I filmed the pattern of that kick drum being played. Then I filmed just the bass line of the exact same song, and then lastly, I muted the bass and the kick drum and filmed the rest of the music. So I had 3 different video clips that were in some way visually representing the song I had written. I combined all these layers together by keying out the black background. I also changed some of the colors just to add interest and separate each musical and visual layer. Lastly, I added a rotating color-changing galaxy in the back because it felt right. What I was left with was this cool psychedelic music video where nearly every frame contains some sort of complicated, ornate geometric pattern. I've uploaded the song, Armageddon, to this channel for you to hear and see. I have a friend who writes primarily electronic music, and he's the one that got me started in making my own. I decided to make a video like this for one of his songs, and I've linked to it in the description. I also experimented with exporting frames from my videos and then playing with them in photo editing software to help me create these images. Now, I'm certainly not the first one to think about making art with music. Jeremy Fenderson is an artist on YouTube who makes music specifically to be viewed through oscilloscopes, and he's developed techniques and methods to producing strikingly detailed images. You have to take a look at his stuff. But there's another bit of footage I have to show you. When I first set this rig up with my friends, we quickly realized that the beam itself becomes highly visible if you rip fat vapes into it. In Steve's video, he mentioned strange artifacts appearing when changing the shutter speed. So I began adjusting the shutter speed and was able to freeze the wandering beam in place. Now, obviously, this is not what I was able to see with my naked eye, but it still amazes me knowing that if I saw at a different FPS, this is how the world would have looked to me in that moment. You don't have to be a musician to love music, and you certainly don't need to be a physicist or a mathematician to love math and physics. And I'm definitely part of that crowd. Although I'm unable to fully understand the math and science behind these shapes and manipulating them, I'm having a lot of fun doing so anyways. Everybody I've shown this to has been completely amazed. These patterns are like a 21st century campfire, causing everyone to quietly stare into the beam, mesmerized by the strange shapes. So if you've got an extra $15 laying around, I highly recommend you try setting up something like this on your own. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe for more.